Hi everyone, how you guys doing? I hope everyone is doing great. Man, I got something to say, guys. I just wanna have a quick talk about the Kanye West situation. You know, um, and I'm trying to be quite brief. I just wanna say something because I think a lot of black people don't understand what's happening here, right? First of all, I'm not like this big fan of Kanye West. But I tell you what, I'm always gonna be a big fan of any black man who makes money, who works hard and makes money. I'm gonna be a big fan of them because we need more people like that because money is what gives you power. Okay? Let me just say that there's a lot of things I don't agree with Kanye West, and there's a lot of things I actually agree with him. Actually, initially, I thought he was just a crazy dude. But the more I listen to him, he's actually a very smart man. Okay? Now, this video will probably be taken off and I'll maybe sent to YouTube jail or some stuff like that, where, your channel get banned for a few times. But I'm going to be honest. I just want to be honest. Because black people sometimes we get caught up in these things that we don't even know. Kanye West didn't even understand what the word anti-Semitism is. Remember Ice Cube when he said something about Jerry Heller? He was talking that as an angry man who just got ripped off and has seen his friends, his relationship with his friends get torn apart by someone, by a person. He gets angry and he says something and they threw anti-Semitism at him, which he didn't even understand. Here's the reason why there's no black person who's anti-Semitic. I'll give you, here's the reason why. Jews, when they left Palestine, there was no Israel back then. They went to many different areas on the world. They even went to India, Asia, A lot went to Africa. A lot of people actually, when the first Babylonians attacked, a lot of people went to Aksum, which is, I think, modern day Ethiopia, right? Some even went to Morocco. Yes, Morocco, a Muslim country called Morocco. And then a lot went to Europe, right? The only place where they were mistreated was in Europe, not in Africa. Not in Asia, not in India, only in Europe. And this is why black people don't even understand this anti-Semitic stuff. Remember, the black GIs died trying to go and fight the Nazis. They were not only fighting the Nazis, they were also fighting the white American soldiers. Black soldiers were getting beaten up by American soldiers. So they were fighting the people they're with, at the same time fighting the Nazis. We did that. Now, let me tell you something. This is what I want everyone to know. Tell me, in the history, in the last 200 or even 400 years, where the Jewish community has sided with the black community. Never. Even when they were freed from Nazi Germany, some were sent to South Africa. When they were sent to South Africa, they never sided with the black community there. This was during apartheid. They didn't say, this is wrong, this is similar to what was happening in Europe. They never said that. They got all the benefits of being white. If anything, 95% of European Jews consider themselves white. They don't even consider themselves Semites. Who are Semites? Semites, let me just put it in simple terms, Semites are Arabs. That's it. Semites are people from the Middle East. Let's just, if I can say that, if I can put it like that, so we don't go into confusing details. That's the way it is. These people don't even see themselves as Semites, as Semites. They see themselves as Europeans. So when they use the word anti-Semitic, but when you don't even consider yourself a Semite, what do you guys call that? What do you guys call that? But we are all getting caught up in this, he's anti-Semitic. Nah. If you say something then you are anti-Semitic. No. When someone does you wrong, they do you wrong. Right now, Jews, Israel is sponsoring sponsoring white militias in South Africa right now. And even when it comes to doing politics in Africa, you know, they have a team called the Mossad. The Mossad are doing damages in Africa. If you are a good president or whatever, the opposition can go and hire these people and they'll find a way to kill you. Easy. Poison you, do something, whatever, and they eliminate you. And right now it's happening. There was even a time, there was this company in Israel that was influencing what was happening on social media in certain African countries to bring about confusion and civil unrest. You know, while that's happening, there's people taking away the resources of the country. You know, so there's never been a place when majority of Jews are sided with black people, even though we are going through the same thing. Never. Let me just say that. Never. During the civil rights, I think the only well-known rabbi who sided with the civil rights movement, and they even said, I think was Abraham Joshua Heschel, who was like a Jewish guy born in Poland. He was a rabbi in America, and if you look him up, you're going to say, they say he had a conscience. You know, so the other people didn't have a conscience. They didn't feel the need. They didn't feel the need to stand up and say, you know, we went through the same thing that these people are going through. Let's stand with them. That has never happened. Now, when we look at what Kanye West is saying, let's prove him wrong. When someone says, oh, this group of people control this, let's prove him wrong. Let's prove him wrong. We can't. We can't. So what they are doing now is to throw this anti-Semitic stuff. For black people, let me tell you something. There's a thing called a village idiot in Africa. People still love him. You know, he's an idiot. It's the same thing with Kanye West. We might have a love-hate relationship with him, but he's our idiot. You know, and Kanye West, let's just not forget. He's the one who said George Bush doesn't like who? Right in front of live on TV. You finish the sentence. You tell me what he said. You know, at the same time, let's not forget, he's the one who gave $2 million to George Floyd children. You know, and yes, he said some vile things about black people. But he's also done some great things for black people. You know, and when we see those people start becoming billionaires, we need to support that, because that's what gives you power. At the beginning of this year, Trump said the Jews control the Senate. Nobody touched him. Was he lying? Tell me if he was lying. You can't. It's the same thing with everything Kanye West said. He's not lying. How many black people, how many black musicians? The only Jewish singer I know is Barbara Streisand. Right? There's probably a lot, but the only one is Barbara Streisand. The one I can think of. Maybe there's a lot. Maybe even what's the other rap group? Maybe they were Jewish as well. You know, but the majority of singers, entertainers have been African Americans. And let me tell you, let's find out how many of those people have been ripped off. Just recently, I heard one of I can't remember his name, but it was big during the Funkadelic days of music. I think it was in the 80s or 70s. He just won a case against his managers who were who again? Who? Yes, $4 million. They ripped him off. You know, so if someone rips you off, you have every right to get upset. You know, I'll give an example. Malcolm X. Malcolm X once said, whites were the devils. Right? And people get upset about that. But then what they don't see is like, okay, let's ask a question. Why did Malcolm X say that? You know, his father was beaten to death, put on the rail on rail tracks for a train to run through him by who? Who? Okay. When he was young, he wanted to be a lawyer. He tells his teacher, who was who again? White. Right? That he wanted to be a lawyer. And he says, no, you can't become a lawyer. He discourages this kid from becoming a lawyer. But you see Malcolm X, a grown-up Malcolm X, debating anybody. He could have been an excellent lawyer. But that guy derailed his future. This kid wanted to be a lawyer. Someone tells him, you can't become a lawyer because of his skin. Okay? And then when the father dies, the mom gets taken into some nursing home, like some for mental illness. When apparently she wasn't really that mentally messed up. And then going back, his grandmother was raped by who? So, at every place where he looked, where his life turned for the worst, there was a white person standing there, directing him into that path. So what are you going to see? What are you going to say? What are you going to think? These guys have been at every stage where my life has turned into the worst, and they've been the perpetrator of my life going in that direction. It's not going to take long for me to get convinced as a person to say, you know what? They're the devils. But as you get older, you experience other things, like when he went to Saudi Arabia for the thing that the Muslims do. He realized he was eating with all races. His ideology started changing. And sometimes, we're not saying all Jews are this and all that, but there's something here that's not right. We shouldn't have a group as a race of people. And what I mean by that is the human race. Within the human race, there shouldn't be a group. There shouldn't be a group of people are scared of talking about. Then those people are controlling us. If we are too scared of saying anything, then those people, then that's control. Then that's control. Then those people are controlling us. If we're too scared to say anything. There's a guy called Bill Ackman, right? At the beginning of this year, he was on almost all these great popular media outlets, talking about how the recession was coming and all the stock is going to collapse, blah, 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 blah. Right? But what he didn't tell people is that secretly, he's invested about $280 million on puts, on shorting the stocks. When he comes on the media, he alarms everybody. And retail investors, like most of you guys who are into the stock market, you hear this guy who is very popular talking about the recession coming. What do? You sell your stock. You rush to sell the stock. The stock drops. His contract kicks in. And you know how much he walked away with? $2.3 billion. He was able to turn $280 million to $2.3 million. Find out the most people that invest with Bill Ackman. They just made that money. But we can't say if we can look around and say, that doesn't sound right. But the moment we find out which ethnic group Bill Ackman belongs to, then we're going to say, now we can't say anything. That's stupid. That's not the world we want to live in. If someone does wrong, or if some people do things wrong, we should stand up. KKK, we stand up. There shouldn't be a group of people where you can't say nothing. And for black people, we've never been anti-Semitic at all. We don't have the power. We don't have the money. Look what happened when Israel attacked Uganda. It was a quick sweep. Black soldiers were running away before they could even shoot, because they believed these were God's people, we shouldn't shoot them. And they ran for their lives. It was an easy thing. We can't be anti-Semitic. We don't have the power. We don't have the military prowess. We don't even have the technology. We don't even have the economy behind us. Kanye West was mistreated. He got upset. The thing that he posted doesn't even make sense because he misspelled everything. And when we look at what it actually means protecting yourself from racism. That's what it means. That's what it means. And instead of canceling him, and this is why the control comes in. Instead of doing what they've done to him, one of the rabbis could have just gone to Kanye West and asked him why he's so upset. And they could have come out on TV and sort out everything and everything done. But no. We gotta strip this nigger of his wealth. We gotta make sure no one works with him. And they'll do it. They'll make sure no one works with him for years to come. Doesn't matter if he apologizes or not. And what are they trying to tell you? They're sending a message to all of you to be scared. Every time they show up, you gotta have your tail down and go hide in the corner. Scared. That's not the world we should live in. That's not the world we should live in. And for black people, some of you are laughing and enjoying yourselves. Kanye West talks too much. You know what? I would rather be on Kanye West's side. If anything, if Kanye West is doing something wrong and apparently he's going to go to hell and the people that have done what they've done to Kanye West are going to go to heaven, guess what? I'd rather go to hell and hang out with Kanye than go to heaven and hang out with these people, because that's not gonna be fun. That kind of heaven ain't gonna be fun. I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of racists in heaven. Stuff that. I'd rather be surrounded by my own people. And this is what we as black people need to start doing. Yes, we're gonna have people do wrong stuff within the community, but guess what? Just like family, sometimes people do stupid stuff. But hey, over time, you hug each other and you come back together. Some of you guys have never even seen your dad. But at some point, he might come back in your life. It's family. That's the same thing with Kanye West. Yes, he's an idiot, but he's our idiot. That's it. And I think we should stand with him in this instance. You are not alone, man. Black Americans are the biggest consumers in America. 2.something trillion every year spent. It's not a good thing to be like that, but at the same time, it means if we were to start creating our own stuff, then we would benefit. I saw Russell Simmons said something about Fat Farm. It doesn't exist anymore, but I remember those shoes. They sold that company for $500 million, and this is like we're going back, at least a decade ago. So Kanye West can start something without having, and this I'm gonna tell. This is a message to all rich black people in America. You don't have to go and link up with somebody. Look at the company called On. It's a Scandinavian company. They make shoes, just like Kanye West makes shoes. This company is now worth $6 billion. The people that started it, they live in Scandinavian, I think one of the Scandinavian countries. They're not popular. No one knows these guys. But they started a brand. Today it's worth $6 billion. On. You look it up. Kanye West, people know you. People around the world know you. You don't need Adidas. You don't need Nike. Just start your own thing, brother. That's it. And we'll buy it. His is what too expensive for me. but with this, I'm willing to go and buy. As long as you start your own, not from Adidas. Just remember, his were selling 90% of Adidas online sales. And I know Kanye West talks too much sometimes. And he could have spoken in a better way. But at the same time, I don't believe what he's gotten matches what the crime he committed. It doesn't. We shouldn't have a group of people we are scared to talk about. No one canceled Kanye when he said something about black people. And this is what I'm saying. No one canceled Trump when he said the Jews control the Senate. Let's prove Kanye West wrong. That's the challenge I'll give everybody. Look at what Kanye West said and let's prove him wrong. For all of you guys, Africans who are Christians, let me tell you something. Jews have never been on our side. If they've ever been on our side where we've stand together against something, please write in the comments. I'd like to hear it. I'm looking at South Africa. Today, the two apartheid practicing countries in the world is Israel and Brazil. Black people, they are being mistreated, treated like second-class citizens in their own countries. Brazil and Israel. Am I lying? No. Why is that? If prove me wrong. Bring some info that says otherwise. And I don't want stupid stuff like, some white guy who went to Israel and said, I had a great experience there. I didn't see anything. You are white. They ain't going to treat you like anything like it. And to prove the point that actually 95% of these people actually don't even consider themselves Semites. Israel right now has the highest number of skin cancers. It tells you they shouldn't be living there. Maybe they're in the wrong place. Well, how come? How come they have the highest skin cancers? Because they're more European. They're not Semites anymore. That's a lie. That's a lie they're trying to put out there. And all of you guys are falling for it and getting scared. Don't get scared. But remember, Majam C.J. Walker became a self-made female, the first self-made female millionaire in America. She didn't join any communities. You know what? She stayed with her own community. She made products for her own community. And she created wealth for herself. That's what we can do when we come together. We don't need, it's the same message. They do the same thing. Even in Africa, we do the same thing. Everywhere, we think we have to connect with these people. No, we don't. Look at the Chinese. The Chinese are getting stuff done. We don't need to be. We don't need to connect with anybody. If anything, we help all these companies. Adidas, who helped Adidas when they were going bankrupt? Those who prevented their bankrupts from happening. Run DMC did it. Run DMC did it. You know, Nike, Michael Jordan did it. All right. So Michael Jordan could have gone separate. Yeah, he had a huge following behind him making shoes, and today he'll be worth 100 times more than he is worth right now. He had the worst deal with Nike. Let's not live in fear, guys. I don't even care if they take this video or they do something. I don't care. But I'm just telling my people right now, it's not time to live in fear. Let us work on creating our own stuff. You know, from beginning to finish. It's gonna change the trajectory of our economic status. The transformation will happen quicker. But if we're always looking for people to connect with, we're not going to get the respect we deserve. Thank you, guys. And I stand with Kanye.